Hello everyone, WolfitCast here, back with another Hero Basics video, where I take a hero from Gigantic and tell you exactly what their abilities do. Level 1. No upgrades, no talents, nothing special. This time we have Ramsay. Ramsay is a melee DPS hero with the tags Fighter. So his playstyle revolves all around sort of getting into the fight, wreaking as much chaos as possible by doing lots of damage, possibly evading attacks, absorbing attacks, and just generally being a nuisance. And if he's left unchecked, he's going to just cause a lot of problems in the long run for the enemy team. But before getting into his abilities, let's go over his stats. Ramsay has 2100 health and 15 armor. So he's not quite as bulky as other melee characters. He's kind of this hybrid between being a frontliner and an assassin. So he kind of right in the middle of the two general health pools. But let's jump into the abilities, starting of course with the left mouse button. Left mouse button is called Cut. It's a melee attack that does 4 hits. Each one does 120 damage per attack. And they look like this. Just a very basic 4-hit combo. Kind of 2 swipes and then the other two follow up, kind of a short delay before they impact. And then you might have seen in the description here, far cuts, if he does a dodge attack, it's actually a much further range. Actually is a 7-meter range, does the same amount of damage, but you'll notice he's the only character in the cast that has a long dodge attack. So if I dodge here, look how far that is. No, every other melee character has a dodge attack that like lunges them forward. Ramsay's has just a long range hit. And you know, you can mess around with the distance a little, but it's somewhere around here. That's about the range of where you can hit. It's really cool. Next up is the right mouse button, which is called Rush. You dash in the direction that you're moving, doing an attack along the way. That does 155 damage. And it also dodges incoming attacks. And effectively what this is that you perform a dodge at the same time that you're attacking. So you're basically able to perform a dodge without any stamina cost. And you can dodge in any direction. You can dodge left, right, forward, back, diagonal. Whatever directional inputs that you're putting in, that's the way that you're going to dodge. So, you see I just rush right through him, do damage, go on a 6-second cooldown. And since this is coded as a dodge and damage at the same time, it actually will have you perform a dodge attack. So if I rush backwards and then attack, I'm actually doing that far cut that's described here. So it's really cool. So you sort of dodge, you do the far attack, dodge again, then you RMB, do dodge attack. It all weaves together where you'll notice right away he's incredibly mobile because he's able to do that RMB so often. You'll kind of see, especially in the Ramsay deep dive, you'll notice that he's just all about, you know, weaving and dodging and attacking in these moments of avoiding things like an evasion tank. Next we'll go over to his Q, which is called Flurry. Do a series of 8 quick attacks over the course of 1.5 seconds that each do 35 damage per impact. But with the trade-off is that you have a slightly reduced movement speed, 20% reduced movement speed during the attack. Now this is a channeled attack that basically affects a line in front of him. And the description here says that it's melee. It's actually about the same range as his dodge attacks. So even from here, I'm hitting Nasus, and that'll affect kind of everyone that's in that forward line. The way that you're facing is going to get hit, and you can kind of shift and move it over the course of the channel. So you see only about 4 of those hits actually counted because I was sort of doing a spread of the attacks. And you know, if there were multiple targets here, I would have given each of them a you know, around 3 or 4 ticks of damage there. Ramsay's last basic ability is called Juju Fruit. Cut the fruit with your blade that applies toxins to the blade for up to 5 seconds. The next attack within that 5-second time frame will apply poison to all targets that are hit. The poison deals 50 damage per second for 3 seconds. And of course, poison reduces healing, incoming healing for the same duration. And it kind of looks like this. So you see he cuts the Juju Fruit. The blade starts to become dripped in poison. And on your next attack, anyone that got hit takes that poison. And this is important to know. It's not just your next LMB. It's any attack that deals damage will apply that poison. So the best case use for this, more often than not, is actually with your Q, or perhaps with your right mouse button if there's like a bunch of enemies clumped together. But you'll see if I use my E and then I cast Q, I turn and I could see both of them are poisoned at the same time because I hit them. That's considered one attack because it's one instance of damage, one ability. So your next basic attack, regardless of what it is, LMB, RMB, it'll apply the poison to everyone that you're hitting with that attack. Real quick before I get into the focus, I forgot to say Flurry's cooldown is 10 seconds and Juju Fruit's cooldown is 15 seconds. But anyway, the focus now. The focus called Fruit Punch. Drops poison fruits within a 5.5 meter radius. Applies poisons to anyone that's inside, 50 damage per second, which is the same as the E. The area is considered obscured, so it's hard for enemies to see through. And it also grants stealth for you and your allies that are in the space for up to 4 seconds. The focus point ranking per rank is what increases the poison damage, starting at 50, and then 75 at rank 2, and then 100 damage per second for, at rank 3. So it kind of looks like this. So you'll see if I hold it down, fairly large area, and then you use it and drops poisons in that area. Ramsay gains stealth, and they get poisoned. And the poison will linger for a bit even after it fades away. So if enemies are inside it the entire time, it'll do about 5 ticks of poison. And this focus is really not about the damage output at all. Like, it does not do barely any damage. It's all about reducing the healing, and it's all about obscuring. Because the fact that it gives stealth to everyone that's inside, so long as they're not attacking, because that's how stealth works, and reduces vision. Like, this is about kind of... I think the most best case used to use this focus is to kind of try to reset the field or to save yourself when you're, running low and you really need to get out of there. But that is about it for Ramsay. You can see that he's kind of all about applying, multiple damage sources of poison and just being a general nuisance with, a mix of melee and ranged abilities, considering his dodge attacks all have a bit of a range and they all cleave because it affects everyone in the line. And he's very fun. He's, he's kind of got a learning curve because it's all around like the dodge mechanics and playing that evasion role. But I would suggest picking him up if you haven't tried him. But that is it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching, please make sure to like and share, and also leave comments. I love talking to you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.